Trippin Waite Tarot, reimagined and redesigned by Christine Aguilar, based on the popular Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. The original Waite-Smith deck is so popular and has been so talked about so exhaustively in print and in online media that we felt it would be more appropriate to focus more on the changes found in the Trippin Waite for this printable PDF, with brief interpretations for those completely new to the original. The Major Arcana, 0, the Fool. Naive but optimistic, the Fool carries a poppy flower in hand and sets out on his magical trip. It's good to see the best in things, but it would do you well to tread carefully. 1. The Magician. This figure represents the mastery of the elements, earth, water, fire, and air. A bit of a showman. Doves fly overhead, seemingly appearing out of thin air. He wears a beautiful Indian-themed cloak. 2. The High Priestess. Covered in a cloak of celestial light, the eye above her emphasizes her use of intuition to guide her in situations. She is sometimes interpreted as Shekinah, the English translation of a Hebrew word meaning dwelling or settling, and denotes the dwelling or settling of the divine presence of God. 3. The Empress, Mother Nature. She represents birth and fertility. Rabbits bounce around and bees buzz around in her midst, both a familiar symbol for birth and reproduction. 4. The Emperor, a hippie father figure who has probably enjoyed himself at Woodstock and is basking in his glory days. He usually represents the querent's father or a male role model. 5. The Guru, also known as the Hierophant. The Hierophant in this case represents the popular Indian guru Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who left an impression on many of the big music stars of the 1960s. He represents spiritual matters of all kind. 6. The Lovers. The summer of love. 2 flower children painted and naked under the watchful eye of a peaceful spirit come together as one. The Lover's card represents a choice or a partnership. 7. The Chariot. The choice of direction in your life is yours to make. The Chariot represents successfully managing conflicting desires and feelings. A journey. It also represents determination and strength, as there is a lot of skill in driving a chariot. An eventual mastery of a situation through determination and hard work. 8. Strength. Inner strength. This card represents keeping your base animal instincts in check. Through compassion, the lady in her daisy patterned dress soothes the beast. 9. The Hermit. The Hermit walks amidst the stars. He represents the knowledge within, and his cloak gives him some privacy. He carries a staff to aid him in his walk, a card of inner reflection. 10. The Wheel of Fortune. A change of fortune. If your fortune has been great, it may soon turn. But if your fortune has been bad, it could be a sign that you're going to experience a nice change of events. At the 4 corners can be seen the heavenly creatures mentioned in biblical books like Ezekiel and the book of Revelation. Generally a card with wonderful potential. Number 11, Justice. An Asian judge garbed in tie-dye sits upon her lofty throne of clouds. A card of karma, it reminds us that justice is impartial and that you will be dealt with fairly. What you put into a situation is exactly what you will get out of a situation. It may also indicate court appearances or civil marriages or divorce. 12. The Hanged Man. Suspension of action, inactivity. This card is sometimes seen as self-sacrifice for the moral good or the welfare of others. The wings in this card represent a will to do something, but the inability to do so. He would gladly fly, but he is bound. 13. Death. An ending of things, possibly a literal death, but generally an end to something. 14. Temperance. A lady beside a stream pours rainbow water from one cup to another. On her head she wears a crown of daisies. Irises grow behind her, a symbol of the goddess Iris, who also is represented by the rainbow, a link between the heavens and earth. 15. The Devil. With his Nixon salutes, the devil lingers above a Vietnamese villager and an American GI, both victims. It could be argued of the war machine. We see in the background the napalm being dropped. For the GI, the chains represent a forced draft into the military, and for the Vietnamese lady, the chains represent her being chained to an event that she has no say in. The Vietnam War played a big part in the late 60s and led to many anti-war protests. 16. The Tower. Inspired by Donovan's Atlantis, the tower represents ruin, sometimes sudden ruin, and a breakdown of long-standing beliefs, perhaps being disillusioned. Towers take a long time to be built up. For example, a loving relationship, and then seemingly out of nowhere, the whole thing comes crashing down. 17. The Star. She represents hope and aspirations. Above her head is a swirl of stars, a sign that she is blessed. This is a card of inspiration. Number 18. The Moon. A wolf and dog bark at the moon, a river flowing between them from the hills. Touched by the moonlight, the waters flow out to the sea where a lobster comes to shore. A card of hidden secrets and at times lunacy. In the darkness, it is harder to see things clearly. It can represent dreams and illusions, which may appear very real, but can be a bit vague. 19. The Sun. A card of joy and can indicate good weather and optimism. May also indicate a birth. 20. Judgment. A young angelic child plays his hypnotic music to once sleeping flower children. The card indicates that a situation in the past may be resurrected in some form, shaping your future. Sometimes in relationships, this indicates a second chance. In terms of actual judgment, the idea being judged is often scary to many people, but true judgment, if mixed with correction and guidance, can be a welcome thing. 21. The World. The world represents completion. You made it in whatever tasks you had set for yourself. Take time to enjoy your newfound success. Everything has come full circle.